Hi, this is Rachelle with Live in Vibrancy, and because I always forget to tell you to like, share, and subscribe, I'm going to do that now. So if you find this content helpful, share it so other people can find it. Okay, so this video is in response to a few questions. In fact, there's going to be two videos. So this one is in response to one question that I received after I did my last video, which I believe is entitled All You Need in Order to Create Love or Money. Okay, so one of the questions I received was, what do you think is inside of me that's creating this circumstance? And then they shared their circumstance. And so to that question, I want to really clarify because I've heard this before. There's this like broadcast that we give off, or there's something inside of me that's sending out the signal. And so in this video, I'm going to break it down so that you can really understand what is going on. And it is a matter of your connection to source and your not connection to source. So, okay. It's not like you have a broken part that you need to clear away. You are running beliefs, but you're running a bunch of beliefs most likely. And so what it is, it's your emotional response and your perception of the situation. That situation is whatever your circumstances are. So let's see. When something that you've labeled as negative, I promise I can talk in real life. When something that you've labeled as negative happens and you have an emotional reaction, your brain notices the dysregulation in your nervous system, and it basically gives it a reason. So that is the story that you tell. They say that thoughts create emotions, yes, but also emotions create thoughts, and this is what's happening. Your body becomes dysregulated, and your brain notices this, and then it layers a story over top based on what's happening around you. So I'll use a real-life example, because this one was pivotal for me, and I feel like it helps me break the steps down. So it was at a time when I was having a disagreement with my husband about money. And at this time in my life, I had a lot of abundance triggers, and I was unconscious to a lot of them. So that particular situation triggered an emotional response inside of me because I was carrying negative energy about money. I had negative beliefs that I was not necessarily aware of. I did know that I had some blocks around money, but I didn't know what they were. And so this means that I carried a negative emotional reaction to money conversations that were stressful because of past experiences and the beliefs that I created about myself in those original experiences. And so from this, I gave his words a bad meaning because everything just is. It's the meaning that you apply to something that gives it its duality. And so I gave it a meaning that really reinforces the unconscious negative belief that I had about myself. We all do this because your mind, its job is to constantly confirm the bias that you have. And a lot of these biases are unconscious to you. And so in this case, I was unconscious to this meaning. So when the situation triggered my nervous system, I experienced a lot of anger, which is fight or flight. And so my brain noticed that, and it told me the reason that I felt angry was because of him and what he was doing. But as I said before, no one makes you feel a certain way. They just trigger what's already inside of you. And so because I've practiced embodiment and clearing emotions and the meanings and really becoming the observer of my thoughts rather than knitted into them, the experience of them, that I noticed the feeling in my body before I reacted to his words. And usually for me, I'm going to kind of describe that so that maybe you can kind of start to recognize it in yourself. So for me, it began like a constriction in my chest and then heat that began to spread, and because I was sitting with the emotion, not letting it sweep me away, I can feel the energy begin to radiate up, its heat up into my face, and it's like a hot flashing tingles that run down my arms, and I can feel the tingling in my palms as the energy begins to move through my body. And so I'm just sitting with this, Processing this energy out. And breathing is a really great way if you find you need to kind of be able to disconnect yourself. And so because I was calm and I was able to pause and ask myself, what am I believing about myself right now? And because I've practiced this, and so this might not come so naturally to you, I would just suggest continuing to ask yourself this, because the more you open to these answers, the more your subconscious mind will bring them to you. And so I found a significant belief that was blocking my abundance in that moment. And it wasn't really like, I don't think I'm worthy of money. Like, sure, I imagine at the very bottom of it, that's what it was. But that wasn't what the belief was at all. And so people get all caught up trying to like puzzle out what their beliefs are ahead of time. But if you really want an accurate reflection of what your most limiting beliefs are, regulate yourself and get introspective about what you have to believe to feel this way. And this is how people manifest lukewarm behavior from your SP. So let's say if your SP does something and you perceive it as brushing you off, this perception triggers an emotional response. Your brain tells you it's your SP, and unconsciously that reaction was triggered because if you follow your beliefs all the way down, maybe you discover that you fear you might not be attractive enough or interesting enough or whatever it is. We have all sorts of them, and that's why it's almost pointless to try to dig them out of your conscious mind, because that's not where they're being held. And they're rarely as cut and dry, because the subconscious mind operates in metaphors and it operates in images. And so it's not always just as simple as I'm not worthy or I don't deserve. It could be I can't or what have you. And so this is your identity. This is your someone could be better than me. I'm not enough for my whatever it is that I want. And you're developing this based on experiences you've had in the past, maybe where you've lost someone or you've been left or someone, or you didn't get together at all. And so you created a meaning. And so you're carrying that meaning because that energy is held at the cellular level, because it was a deeply distressing emotional moment. And because we don't process the energy out, your body held it and it's still holding it, and it's triggered every time your brain decides, ooh, this dysregulation and this situation match this past experience. And so there are 1,000 things that you could believe, so don't get caught up on that detail, because you could really fall into a rabbit hole of how am I broken, and you are not broken. You don't have some entity inside of you. You're just believing a lie that you decided about yourself in the moment, because that's how your subconscious mind works to protect you. And so it will pull up that story to stop you, so that you never feel that way again. And so it's, like I said, it's really most effective if you just learn to be introspective and ask yourself what you're believing in that moment or when that emotional energy is occurring. And this also takes practice. There are steps that I teach people to move through this process. When that emotional response is triggered, you're now running this energy, the thoughts and the emotions of this negative belief in your body. This is a low state of being. And some people might also call this like a low vibration. And so as I've mentioned before, a lot of times vibration is not related to mood. I can be in a terrible mood and have great beliefs about myself. And so this energy, this is the energy that I'm describing, this emotional response. So the energy in your body and perception. And it's evident in your words, either spoken or texted, your tone of voice, the way you hold your body, right? We constrict when we're in a negative space, and we're much more open when we're positive. It's in your body language. It's even in your heart rate and your breathing, and your thoughts and perceptions are matching this energy. And it's because your mind is essentially housed in your body. So you can tell yourself whatever it is you want and affirm until you're blue in the face. And I'm going to go on an affirmations rant again. But if it's not shifting your energy, it's not helping you, because this energy this is what's broadcasting. So when they tell you there's something inside of you that's broadcasting, don't be looking for a sentence, because this is now the assumption that you're operating from. Your entire body is reflecting this belief in that moment, and it's radiating out of you. And so you can, like I said, you are not conscious of it either. but you are showing up from this place. And so if you really want to find the keys to what's creating the circumstance you're in, then you want to notice the energy in your body, because we're energetic beings and we feel and read one another on multiple sensory levels, including the fields of energy that we're in. And so your SP picks up on the fact that you're coming from that low, insecure state. And confidence is attractive. We are unconsciously attracted to dominant qualities, the real kind. And so your SP quickly picks up on any faked confidence. So when you're acting from a limited state of being, you begin to give off this insecure or reactive energy. And your SP picks up on that insecure energy and they pull away, which reinforces for you that belief that started it in the first place. And so no matter what you're pretending to feel or telling yourself, you're embodying your fear. And that's what's inside of you, an emotional response, and it broadcasts outside of you each time it's triggered until you clear it. And so clearing it means dealing with it in the moment. And I have a video, and I will link it in the description, on the only work in manifesting. And this is essentially the breakdown of that video. So this is, how you move through circumstances to get to where you want to go, because this emotional response, this is your resistance. This is your beliefs, this is your energy, and these essentially are creating or affecting, right, energy and perception. They work together. And so this is also why neutral energy is so powerful. There is no negative interference. You are not broadcasting this negative. You are literally learning to just embody your own power, your own inherent power. And so if you take your eyes off the external and the outcome and you start noticing your emotional reactions and perceptions, whether they're aligned to your end, then you do the work to align them, you are going to find that you begin quickly to change things, because focusing on yourself outside of yourself is essentially expecting the external world to change so that nothing triggers the energy that you're carrying in your body and you can feel good. But creation is within you. It's not outside of you. So you are literally source. And so manage your energy and perceptions, and you will easily create what you want. And those things that trigger you, they don't trigger you anymore. And this is why circumstances don't matter.